Good afternoon. I've been here at the CQ Uni Career Expo today and it's been awesome. There's been lots of students coming through to talk to and it's been exciting. So now I'd love to talk to you about how spruiking can help you in your real career. So just to give you a little bit of background on me, I'm Desley Cowley. I'm an independent licensed shopping centre manager, keynote speaker, facilitator and trainer, and my business is Spruiker Hire. I've got 28 years shopping centre management and marketing experience across 4 states, and I've helped hundreds of small and medium-sized retailers. My methods have resulted in consistent success in improving retailer profits, centre occupancy, customer numbers and community access. So when I've set up my business, I've had all of that experience in the back of my mind. So I guess the learning outcomes for today is to develop the skills required to successfully and safely engage in the art of spruiking at a live venue, retail premises, for the purpose of creating a sense of urgency to increase sales and or patronage through a combination of entertainment, activities and offers. Probably for today's talk, learning outcomes is the wrong word, but we're just going to have a little chat. I won't click on the YouTube link, but you can do that at a later date, and that's just a little example of a person that performs to draw attention. What is a spruiker? A spruiker is a person that stands outside a place of business trying to persuade patrons to enter or vigorously trying to persuade customers to purchase their wares. That's the all-words definition of a spruiker, but a spruiker is more than that. It really is about attracting attention to the store, especially when we're in these large shopping centres these days and your neighbouring retailers that you're competing with for attention. You need to do something to draw people to your store, to draw their eye to you and not to your neighbouring retailer. So what do you need to know to be a good spruiker or performer, bingo caller, product demonstrator, brand ambassador, even a costume character? I even have Santa Clauses registered on my Spruiker Hire website. You need to know who you are yourself. You need an industry insight and an understanding of the retail industry. You need to know how to graciously attract attention. It's not about being gregarious. It's about being very subtle and persuasive in a nice way. You need to know how to manage an activity or an event, and you need to know how to work safely. And of course, it's an ongoing learning experience. The longer you do it, the better you'll get at it. You also need to know how to work with colleagues and clients. So if you're spruiking and it's your own business and you're spruiking for another business, you need to know how to work with their team of people, not just the person that engaged you. You should be able to know how to create an action plan or a to-do list so that you don't forget anything. Once you get really good at it, and if you're going back to regular customers, you'll get to know a lot of the stuff, but it's always a good idea to have a checklist so that you don't forget anything. And also it's great to do a post-event evaluation, but both by yourself and with the rest of the team to work out what you did right, what worked, what didn't, make notes so that you can do a better job next time. Why choose to spruik, demonstrate, perform in a shopping centre? What are the opportunities? Well, spruiking is an art. It is a stepping stone to greater public speaking skills and gigs. It's a confidence builder. It'll expand your vocabulary and improve your communication skills. It's an absolute ideal training ground for auctioneers, politicians, entertainers, any type of sales jobs. Today I've been speaking with accountants and lawyers, potential, what training to be, accountants and lawyers, and everything that you can think of. Every one of them has said without a doubt that they need to improve their public speaking skills. Working part-time while you're studying as a spruiker will absolutely and unconditionally help you with that. It'll build your confidence. You will be dealing with everybody from the local street person to most senior managers, national managers. So it gives you a complete and utter exposure to everybody from all walks of life. What's the earning potential? Well, if you've got limited experience and you don't have your own equipment, you could be earning as little as $25 an hour. If you have some experience but limited equipment, $40 to $50 an hour. But if you have your own equipment, you can earn $80 to $120 an hour. And this is quite genuine hourly rates that you can earn. So the people that I've been talking to today, we've been talking about, it's a minimum 3-hour gig, and $240 will probably take you 9 or 10 hours to earn that sort of dollars if you're working as a checkout person at one of the local supermarkets. The money is there if you're good at what you do. If you're not good, if you genuinely contribute to increasing the number of customers that come into a store, or you genuinely contribute to increasing their sales, they will absolutely get you back time and time and time again. I have a gentleman named Steve in Melbourne who is now earning $110 per hour regularly. He's got involved with one of the national retailers and they want him. He's fortunate, of course, being in Melbourne. Any of the major capital cities where there's 3, 4, 10 stores of a different brand, once you get in and you do a really good job, they'll have you going around to all of their stores. So he's got some great gigs going on now. It has taken him up to 2 years to build up his experience, his knowledge and his expertise, and also to build up his client base, but it's well worth it. But at the very least, locally in the regional areas, you should easily be able to earn $65 an hour. So what are the influencing factors we touched on before? Your selling skills. If you are a very good seller, you will be able to ask more dollars. Don't be afraid to start your hourly rate at a lower rate for the first couple of gigs. Be sure that you let the retailer know that this is just a first rate, but your normal rate is going to be the higher rate, so that they know that they're going to have to pay that at a later date. Their budget affects how much they're willing to pay you. So some of the discount stores, they just simply can't, their budget doesn't allow them. If they're selling $2 widgets, they'd have to sell an awful lot of those to make up for the cost of the goods plus paying you $80 an hour. But on the other hand, a jewellery shop where one item could be $8,000 to pay you $240 to spruik for 3 hours is pretty good going. And that brings us to the product, of course. So, talking about self-assessment, I found that the best checklist that I found really is I've adapted this from Timmins J.A. 1977 New Venture Creation Irwin book, and it's rate yourself out of 10 for each of the following qualities. So what Timmins says is that most successful people have these qualities. So do you have drive and energy, self-confidence, resilience? Do you have a desire to earn money with less effort? A knack for solving problems? Do you use time well? Are you a moderate risk taker? Do you take calculated risks based on skills, not chance? Do you use feedback to improve and monitor your own performance? Can you demonstrate initiative? And are you willing to ask for help? If you take the time to rate yourself out of 10 on all of those items, and the ones that you give yourself a lower score for, find some ways of improving your ability and your skills in those areas. So, for example, resilience is probably one of the most, or I suppose, the one that a lot of people in the general public don't have the ability to bounce back after failure. If you go out and you do a gig and it turns out to be a terrible disaster because it was your first gig in public, you need to be willing to say, well, too bad, so sad, the next one's going to be better and I'm going to get back out there because practice makes perfect. All business is a work in progress. We accept work in progress in big business. Why not in ourselves? And that comes back to what I was talking about before. When you first start out, you might not be as good as you will be. Like my friend Steve, who's been now doing it for 2 years, started struggling because he was working through an agency. He was lucky if he could get $45 an hour. He's now wiped the agency altogether. He's not even using them to supplement his income anymore, and he's asking $110 an hour. So he couldn't have done that when he first started. That's come about from his own personal experience, networking with my other spruikers that are registered, and also talking to me, of course. So you're a work in progress. Don't think that you have to be perfect from day one. Another example, of course, is your local shopping centre. 7 to 10 years in the making. The developer has the vision, what he wants. Like if you take Stockland Rockhampton and the transitions and the changes that it's gone through over the last 30 years, there was a vision, it was developed, they created an initial tenancy mix, then there was the launch and initial marketing. And then on an annual basis, they do a tenancy mix review and a marketing mix review, and they continually redevelop. So like right now, we've got a little food court going on up the top end. This is just a constant ongoing thing, and you're just the same. You are a work in progress. So goal setting. If it is to be, it's up to me. It's entirely up to you, where you're going to get to and achieve in your life. If you say, no, I can't do that every day when you get out of bed, if you find it difficult to put your shoes on in the morning, well, there's no one but you that can accept responsibility for that. If you are willing to go out and stretch yourself, feel those butterflies in your tummy, and what do they say? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Well, you will achieve. One of my old bosses used to say, if you just do one thing every day towards your goal, not everything will result in success, but some of them will, and you will eventually make it. But if you give up, you'll never get there. My daughter has just gone through, she's actually just finished here at CQ Uni. She did a Bachelor of Early Learning Management, I think, because she did steps before she started. She did it as a mature age student. It took her 4.5 years. She dropped back to part-time sometimes because of issues she had, but we're all very proud of the fact that she's got there. But if she didn't keep going one foot in the other, in front of the other, it just never would have happened. Okay, so summary. The opportunities are there. It doesn't matter whether you live in a regional area or a major capital city. If you're looking to get a part-time income while you are studying, consider spruiking. As part of the Career Expo today, participants and students will be receiving a mail out from me, which actually gives you the top 10 tips for spruikers, as well as a free copy, a free PDF version of my Spruiker training manual, which is an online manual that you receive when you register online to spruik with me. Now, my Spruiker Hire website is there is a cost for you to register on that. It's an annual fee of $240. However, for that you do get the free online training and unlimited resources in terms of checklists, etc., to help you do a great job. So what I've done for the Careers Expo is to make that training manual totally free to you, which will be sent out as a PDF. I've got down here, these are more general things about good quality applications and interviews just in general for any sort of a job. I guess what we've just been talking to some students about resumes. It's great to always put what your key achievements have been in any position and try not to just put jargon. My words of advice are, if you don't ask, you don't get. So just get out there and ask for the job that you really want, and if you ask enough people, you will eventually get it. My pet hate in people coming for interviews or applying for jobs is when they just walk in and stand at the front of the counter and say, can I drop off my resume, please? And, there's probably 10 people a day that do that. You've got to do something to stand out in the crowd. So I've already mentioned my freebies that I'm giving out today, and they will be email post careers fair. That pretty much covers me. You can connect with me. I'd love to connect with you at any of these links, which will be posted on the thing that gets distributed. And then that's thank you. Any questions? No questions? Well, thank you so much for listening today. I look forward to helping you. Please don't hesitate to email me, ring me if you'd like any help with anything at all. Looking forward to talking to you.